Yeah.
What is manual QA and automatic QA?
So think of it like this. Before Instagram released their Reels, of course, we know TikTok blew up and Instagram was shuffling around trying to release their Reels.
Yeah.
Before any company releases a new feature or a new product, they have to have people in the company that test it out to give their input, to say, okay, this needs to change, this is the tweak. So manual QA, quality assurance, it's people that are that work in the company. Their job is merely to try out the product before it gets released to the public, before it's in general availability. Yeah. And then they give their input. They say they don't like the color. They say, I think this button should be here. This thing isn't working. They literally are just trying to break it.
And they getting $90,000 to try and break something.
Yeah, getting good money.
And you know what's so funny is, Cyrus, is I just launched a brand new website, right? And I paid someone. I paid a manual QA just to go through and make sure all my buttons are working. Yeah. I mean, they went through and clicked everything, came back and found like 20 buttons that was not working. Yeah. And I was like, wow. And you're telling me that person makes $100,000 a year just to go in there and to try things?
Yeah, definitely. It's wild. And then QA automation is the other side where they usually find ways to automate it. So that way a program can test things out. So that way they don't even have to do it themselves. They're just able to figure out a way to, and I don't fully know how they do it because I'm not a QA automation person. Yeah. But they have a way to have a program that does it for them.
Wow. So literally, you guys, you can spend $450, get the education, get the qualification. And how long did it take you when you finished your particular boot camp to get your first job? Like, was it a while? 6 months?
No, not at all. So when I did Careerist, right afterwards, they and there's some similar things with some of the other courses you spoke about. Yeah. Not all of the boot camps do this, but the courses that we've mentioned do these things where they do things like help like adjust your resume, help you with your LinkedIn, and also do things like interview coaching, stuff like that. So they did interview coaching. They also did mentorship. So and Careerist applied to companies for me. They applied to up to 5 companies a day for me. So they set me up on interviews. It only took me 8 weeks to get my first job offer. But
8 weeks?
Yeah, but I'm just one example. We don't like anecdotes. So I have a homeboy, his wife, it only took her 4 weeks to get a manual QA. It took him, though, 5 months. One of my close friends, I told him he was a correctional officer. Yeah. I was like, bro, what are you doing? You making how much? I said, man, you should get in tech. He did the same course I did. It took him 3 months. He got a higher offer than I did.
What?
Yeah. And then a young woman I just interviewed on my page, her background's in health, in healthcare. Yeah. No tech background. Yeah. She did the program. It took her 4 months, but she got a job paying her over $130K just from the boot camp.
Here's what I love about tech, man, is there's so many things you can do in the tech world. Yeah. There's so much growth. There's so many opportunities in the tech world. Because this is like, this, for me, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm still learning the tech space. This sounds like this is entry level into the tech space making good money.
Oh, these are all entry level.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, so I could pay $450, start making 90, 100,000. And some of them you may make 60, 70,000. It all depends on where you go for. If you're making $38,000 and you go from $60,000, that's a pay raise.
Working at home, working from home?
Home.
Oh, that's...
You know what I'm saying? You chilling. That saves you on gas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just makes sense. And your investment, your tuition was only $400 to $500. Then over on Bethel Tech, which I love about them is they are a little bit more expensive. They are giving away scholarships, but then now you're really getting into that, and you're really getting into like the coding, and you're really getting into that tech space, because from what I understand, like the automatic QA, that requires someone to go in and build and code that automatic QA stuff.
Yeah, for that role. Yeah,
for that role. Yeah. That's another side of the tech world that my friends over at Bethel Tech teaches. So it's like, what I'm telling you all is, man, you don't have to spend $250,000 to get the education to make $100,000 a year.
Yeah. Yo, so for everybody who's listening right now, and you're thinking, man, I really want to do what Cyrus Guest is doing to be in tech. Or maybe you've been thinking for a minute, man, I want to be a sales engineer like Cyrus. What can I do to become a sales engineer? Well, I actually want to recommend to you Careerist Bootcamp, which isn't just the bootcamp that I've done and many of my friends and family members have done to break into tech, but they also offer a variety of other roles aside from sales engineering. That being roles like different types of tech sales jobs, including SDR, BDR, account executive, but also something that's in really high demand right now, QA automation, as well as QA tester. Y'all, Careerist Bootcamp Aside from these variety of courses, they have an amazing program that assists you with helping you get a job in tech. With their program, they have two different versions of it. One of it actually aggregates different jobs and companies that are hiring specifically for the role that you did within their course. And that way you're able to just synchronize and go through and apply to each of those roles yourselves. But also they have an automated version of that also within their JAS program, or JAS, Job Application Service Program. The reason why I made a separate video to talk about them is because they made a lot of updates in their program, including hiring a crap ton of more mentors and coaches to be able to assist their graduates with being able to get a job, being able to interview better, essentially giving them all of the tools that they need to be able to break into this dope industry. Apart from that, they've also made some adjustments and tweaks within their classes and courses, providing more assistance, having more instructors, ultimately being able to service each of their students better. Careerist actually allows our audience to get a $300 discount on top of every sale they have going on. So if you go to their site right now and they have a sale going on, if you use our link, you will still get a $300 discount on top of any sale that they have going on all the time. Listen, y'all, I definitely recommend you check them out. And please let us know if you do Careerist and when they help you break into tech too.